this. I don't know how this actually got past me, but I'm late on it. But I'm here. No time like the present. So Miss Deb Antony, has her show, Deb's House. And I think she was actually dealing with hip hop more so in the beginning in season one. Well, this is season two. She's doing Deb's House and it's R&B. So this is all she's going down the road of R&B, and y'all know that's my lane. That is totally my lane. I'm so glad that Deb did this. I said, let's see, because this could go really good or this could go really. First thing I thought of from the door was she said what her mission was. It's the suffering that R&B is actually doing. People keep saying R&B is dying, this, that, thing, and the other. This is the thing that I love about Miss Deb. She is all about making things happen. People have been saying it forever, but nobody has actually done anything about it. And Miss Deb done jumped in here and dug her heels in, and she's doing it. First thing I thought of, I said, oh my God, she's getting ready to bring me R&B divas back, just with new people and new blood. And that's the big thing. All of this remaking of stuff and the copying of things. And there are tons of people who sing. Everything about this, I love it. She went to TikTok. And she grabbed folks that could sing off of TikTok. It didn't matter your background. It didn't matter, any of that. Your age is just wide open. She put the whole reality format into it. It has the whole singing competition situation into it. She has celebrity guests that are judges. And Deb is truly solidified in the business of music. So everything's there. Everything for a great show is there. And Deb Antony was definitely the one to do it, because Miss Deb don't play around. She don't play around. She's not going to be playing around with a whole bunch of disrespect and a lot of, extra stuff that's really not needed to get to the end goal. So I think Deb was an excellent choice of people to jump in and actually do this. And I love it. I love it. So episode 1, we start right in with a cappella sing off. There's, I think, 15 people she chose off of TikTok. Only 10 are going to make it into the house. Only 10. You say, hey, I'm so happy you're reviewing this. And shame on y'all. Ain't nobody called me and said nothing. Ain't nobody called me and said nothing. Y'all know better than that. Y'all done asked me about all kind of shows that you know damn well I'm not getting ready to do. I get requests for shows that are old. I don't do old shows. I get requests for science fiction. I don't like aliens. Somebody asked me to do Doctor Who. I said, well, who the is Doctor Who? I don't do that. But we got brand new R&B divas, and ain't nobody called me. Ain't nobody called me and said nothing. Shame on y'all. That's all right, though, because I'm that dude. I'm going to catch up. I sat here and I said, please let me love this. And I'm telling you, I absolutely love this show. I am in. Thank you, Deb Antony. So here we go. Deb's House. She has her Sheree. We learned that at the end of the first episode. Her personal assistant is actually the house mother. So she's going to be the Mrs. Garrett of the house. We say, my bad. That's all right, baby. I'll allow it this time, Locked Queen. I'm just fussing, but I'll allow it. So she basically is going to be the Miss Garrett of the house. We got, for the sing-off, is how they broke it down to the 10. She brought Walker in. Y'all know Walker Flocka is her son. Walker, she solidified Walker from the door, which it doesn't surprise me, because here's the thing. Most rappers, the older ones, Now I don't know about I'm gonna say the newer ones too, because even down to like a Little Nas X, most rappers are all they love other rappers, and on their top of their list is a lot of other rappers, but truly most of their inspiration is usually an R&B singer. That's just the way it is. You're going to have Luther Fallen and these different artists that are crooners and things. They all fall in their list. They are usually music lovers. It's not just the lyricism. They are into the music part of it too. Rappers, they're a special breed. They're a special breed. Real rappers. Some of that hollering and speaking real fast and you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. But the LL Cool J's and the Snoop Doggy Dogs and the Jay-Z's and the rappers, Curtis Blow, and just keep on going. All of that. The Fat Boys, actual rappers, people that are really good. Really good. Outkast. You know, rappers. Hell, even down to MC Hammer, they used to do him. It was all R&B and gospel too, is fused in all their stuff. So when he said, no, one of my favorite groups is Earth, Wind, and Fire, I'm like, you in, have a seat. Have a seat, young man. We'll allow it. And then they got Keke Wyatt. Okay, no matter what's going on in the news with Keke, no matter what's going on in Keke's personal life, Keke Wyatt is a singing fool. Okay, them pipes, nothing to be toyed with. And then Keke brings another wealth of knowledge and experience. She is one of the R&B divas. She was the R&B divas, LA, I believe, LA. So, or no, was she Atlanta? No, Keke was Atlanta. R&B divas Atlanta. Yeah, ATL. So she got all the right stuff. 15 people from TikTok. Boom. They put them in head to head. Had them singing a cappella. They did, I'm just going to talk about the ones that kind of like stuck out. You got AJ. AJ is a stud. She's a stud. So she said from the door, she's like, I'm the one that's different. Not really all that different. You're just a stud, baby. That's all. She bombed when she did her little thing. She was up with a girl. Both of them was kind of like off, but AJ was really off. They did Angel of Mine, Monica's song. And I'm sorry, not the first go round. First go round, they did, I think it was Sweet Love. It was bad. It was bad. It just wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was a boy song. It was a boy song. What song was that? Was it Brian McKnight? Whatever it was, I think it actually was a boy song, but it was bad. It just wasn't, it wasn't hitting. She gave AJ a second chance, and AJ came back, because she told her, she said, neither one of y'all, she said, AJ, I'm gonna give you another chance because I know what you can do. And so she came back and she sang Angel of Mine, and it was fire, because she kind of flipped it on the side and did her own little thing with it a little bit. And the thing is, you're sitting there, she actually sounds like Justin Bieber, and she looked like Justin Bieber too. I said, ooh. Sweet Love, yeah, Sweet Love is very stylized. It's a very stylized song, and it's very hard to take Sweet Love away from what Anita Baker did. So it always ends up being like a karaoke type of moment. The one part, and it's so weird because it's a male that I know who literally takes a Anita Baker song and really wear it out. Well, one, you got Teresa Griffin. Teresa Griffin, if you've ever heard Teresa Griffin sing Rhythm of Love, please. She get the scatting and carrying on it. It's something awesome, but she's an anomaly anyway. But Avery. Oh, Avery Wilson. Avery Wilson will lay some Anita Baker to rest. You understand? Avery Wilson sang Angel and will lay shit to rest. But it's very hard to do Anita Baker because her stuff is very stylized, and it's kind of hard to get away from what she laid. Yeah, Yolanda Adams could do it too. But that, again, an anomaly. These people, all the people I named, Avery Wilson, Yolanda Adams, Teresa Griffin, when they open their mouth, you know exactly who it is. So they kind of, it's kind of unfair because they do what they do. Anyway, we got the Holloway sisters, baby. There's what's their names? Audrey and Nia. Their grandmother is Lolita Holloway. Okay, so Lolita Holloway is a disco and house, more disco. She's a legend. Okay, so that's their grandmother. So from the door, you expect great things from them, and they came in like changing faces, like a duo, but they put them together, and they were basically verses. And Deb really wanted them as a group. And here's the thing, when you have your own agenda and you have what you want, and a lot of times the music business sees something else for you, sometimes you got to play the game. Sometimes you got to play the game. It's nice to get what you want, but sometimes you just got to listen and read the room. They should have listened and read the room, because she basically told them from the door, why are y'all not auditioning together? She told them from the door, why are y'all not auditioning together? There's no way I would have taken my sister. Me and my sister been singing together our whole lives for the most part. And you don't see any other duos. So now you got a gimmick in here. They'd had to separate me and my brother, because we would have never separated ourselves. That's crazy. She literally told you, but that comes with age, learning how to read the room and knowing the business, which is weird because one of them got more experience. She's been on Broadway and all of this different stuff. You know the game, but I read from them from the door, them two sisters. Something about them didn't sit real well with me. Something about them gave me very, even when it comes to the sister. And I'm not the only one that picked up on it. So did Deb, because she sure said to them, she said, y'all should have been together, because being together, that basically shows that you know how to work with. If you can't work with her, and that's your sister, are you going to be able to work with other people? This, that, thing, and the other. I said, oh, okay. But they did their little thing. They sang together, and it was so funny because it's a versus thing, but they were basically doing like changing faces. They was singing it together, because while they were singing, all I was hearing was fooling around, fooling around. That's what was playing in my head, but they were singing something totally different. And I was like, y'all had something that y'all was working with. Y'all had another little into the competition, and y'all too stupid to take it. But I seen the arrogance in the both of them, because when they said it, it's like, really? And I think that hurt them in the end, because I said, all right, she's gonna be keeping her eye on y'all, I promise. But anyway, they got separated because Audrey made it and Nia was out. You made her choose between you two sisters, and she kicked one out. Y'all didn't both make it. They thought they was both gonna make it. Nope. One fell right into the wayside. Moving right along. Ashley. Ashley is a girl, and a lot of them had their own little stories and things that was going on already. Ashley came in and worked Deb's nerves because her ass was hanging out. She had this little, she's a thickums, and she had this little outfit. From the top, she was cool. And the bottom, she had this little skirt, and her cheeks was hanging out. And it looked bad. It looked bad. It didn't look cute. It wasn't, there was no purpose in that micro mini skirt. She's a pretty girl, real pretty. And when Deb, they need to work out of that too, all that excuse, all those excuses. She's going on, and Deb's asked her first, she kind of denied like this. She knew that her cheeks was hanging out. And, Kiki was like, Kiki's rude. Kiki's rude. So they wasn't going. And Deb's like, I know you felt that draft on your ass. And Walker didn't say too much, but he was like, yeah, and no. You know, so she went to go on and making excuses. Then she goes and she tells the story that she had a double mastectomy and that she doesn't feel good about herself. So she does other things to make herself feel sexy. And they're like, yeah, well, we're going to work on you with that. That almost got her voted out. It literally almost got her voted out, but she really is good. She's good. And Dad put her in and told her, let me tell you something. There's a dress code in my house, and I'll have none of this ass hanging out business. I'm not going to sit around here and look at your ass. I'm not going to do it. If you knew anything about me, you'd knew not to come in here with your ass in my face. I was like, yeah, pretty much. Moving right along. So that was Ashley. Then we had the one girl. I can't think of what her name is, but she was homeless. She was homeless. And her story sound real TV to me. It gave me real reality TV because yeah, it just did. And then Kiki was like jumping on it. She kind of jumped onto it and was like, well, wait a minute. Because you said you sang backup for Summer Walker and you're a hairdresser, but you live in your car. And then what I thought was even more embarrassing was she said, girl, what's your Cash App, child? I was like, ugh. I didn't like that. I didn't like how it felt. I mean, I don't think the key was coming from a bad place, but it gave the whole charity case thing. Kenneth, you emailed me about, was this what you emailed me about? Kenneth? I know you emailed me about other stuff. You emailed me about other stuff, but you emailed me about this? I really need to slow down. Okay. So it just, I don't know. I didn't, the whole, even the I'm gonna give you the petty and I'm gonna throw some coins at you. It just made me feel a kind of way, and I'm like, probably made her feel a kind of way too. I don't know, but I didn't really buy all of the story like that. Something with that story just didn't sit real well with me. We got another girl who is a preacher's kid. She's pretty girl. She's church. She's a PK. Oh, okay, kiddos. I have no idea how I missed that in my email. Yeah, this is my stuff right here. So this girl's a PK. She's a preacher's child. She grew up in the church. She's she's unbaptized, dunked, and filled with the Holy Ghost. But I'm a lesbian and I got a wife. So I'm like, okay. So I just kind of laughed at her. And then her and Kiki had their little thing. She's like, you just want to break out? I was like, okay, girl, let's get back to singing. And then we had Amber. Now, Amber is very, very different. Amber does sound like Macy Gray. She sounds like Macy Gray. She's real stylized. She's really, really good. But from the door, I looked at Amber and I said, something's going on. Something's going on. And she kind of tried to put it off like she's just a loner or an introvert. She's not alone. Well, I mean, she is a loner and an introvert, but she's autistic. She's autistic, and I clocked it. I was like, there's something more than just that. She is autistic, and then her thing is, she made it into the house. Her thing is she wants to hide it because she doesn't want anybody judging her. She doesn't want to be treated, softly and different things like that. And I'm like, okay. And we found out, I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but we found out right away that that is to her detriment. That is to her detriment. And I'll talk about it when I get to it. We got Tara. Tara kind of stuck out to me. I said, she's kind of ghetto. She a little ghetto. And I said, she looks to me like she ready to go Hollywood a little bit. And I was like, okay. So put a pin in that. And yeah, that's kind of like who all stuck out. And then we had Lucy. Now, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to go on and say it. When I sing Lucy Love gave me just as much stud as AJ. But not only that, it was something else on top of it. And I was like, what's up, Lucy? What's going on? Not that any of that matters, but it's just like, what's going on? She had a hard edge, but the hard edge was real hard. It was real off-putting. And I said, I don't think it's just that she may be a stud. It's just something else. Put a pin in her too. Moving on. So here's who she picked. She picked Tara. She picked Amber. She picked Devin. She picked Ashley. Audrey. Nia was out. She picked Lucy Love. What was the girl's name? Kim? Is it Kim? I think it's Kim. Deja. Deja is this little child that kind of had the Monica look from back in the day. Got the little haircut. Never meant to cause you no pain. Had the little haircut and everything. All she needed was them shoes from that video. But she's a cute little thing. And she sound like Monica. So she was killing Angel of Mine. And y'all need to know that. Angel of Mine is to this day still my favorite song that Monica ever put on wax. It's my favorite song. So you know I was all in. And then she chose AJ. She did choose AJ. Then Tara is bald and beautiful. Oh, she's so sharp. She is so sharp. They almost forgot her because they counted down 9 and they like, wait a minute, there's one more. And she's like, is she bald? She's like, yeah. She's real pretty though. She's real pretty and her voice is really good. She's groovy. I can't wait to see more from her, but she's beautiful. And she actually has some background story. She actually had a bout with alopecia. So a lot of these different things, there's a lot of different things because it's all women. I think they're going to touch a lot of people because they're being very forthcoming. So we got somebody who's dealing with autism. We got another woman who's dealing with alopecia. We have a stud. We have a person who is a lesbian who is fully embraced her LGBTQ, but she's literally from the church. So there's that little internal struggle and then a little outward struggle. So we got all of that. I think that the show is going to touch a lot of people. I think it's going to do a lot of good for a lot of different things. It's going to start a lot of different conversations. So good job, Miss Deb. Okay. So here we go. They go on to the house. They pick their rooms and all that. I said, Lord, here we go. You know, it's a reality show. So, of course, there's going to be some drama. First piece of drama, Amber, it was getting too loud. This is when I knew that she was autistic. She hadn't even said anything yet. It was getting loud. She said, I got to go. I need some alone time. I said, she's autistic. Because it was the noise and all of the people doing what they were doing. And they were just being. They were just excited and they're just being, and it was triggering her. I said, yes, she's autistic. So then shortly after that, we found out that she actually is and all of that. And I said, okay. And then she was saying how she was trying to hide it. And I'm like, no, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. I mean, you don't have to just jump out and start telling people, but if you're going to try to hide it, it's not going to last long, especially with the music business is loud. So it's just not, I don't know how that's going to work. First thing we see, Tara. Didn't I say something was going on with Tara? Tara is self-proclaimed messy, okay? They on the bus ride out, there was a little statement made from Tara to, is there 2 Taras? Yeah, I think there's 2 different Taras. Because there's the Tara that is the messy one, and then there's the bald one. I hope I'm not missing one of the names. But anyway, however, not the bald Tara. We're talking about the little messy one with the braces. Little messy one with the braces. Tay. It's Tay? Okay, Tay. That's okay, cool. Tay. She messy as hell. Messy. And self-proclaimed messy. They got her on a confessional saying that I'll do what it is that I need to do. No. So Tay is the bald-headed one. Tara is the messy one. Am I right? I think Tay is the bald-headed one because she don't got no drama. She don't have any drama. And look, we got somebody messy here that's trying to be messy, and we ain't doing it today. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Wrong live. You got to come to a different live. Okay, so Tara is the bald one. Tay is the other one. Okay. All right. I'm going to say, my bald queen, just forget about her for now because she ain't got no drama. Okay? So this other little child, she's the messy one. Oh, is she messy? She said something to Amber told she really wanted to go up against Amber because she felt like her voice was better than hers. Now, why is you starting that? So that was already a little thing. And Amber just played. She just paid it. She ain't even go into it. She's like, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for it. She just moving on, you know? So that was that. And then she did the little confessional where she basically said, you know, I basically do what I need to do around Miss Deb's house to get what I need and what I want. I said, you going to crash and burn playing around with Miss Deb. And I'm going to tell you why. Miss Deb is a boy mom. Deb don't play like that. Deb do not play like that. She don't like all that drama. She does not like all that drama, and she don't play. And if you think that you're going to get cute with her, you will really run into a problem. Y'all remember when she bopped Jocelyn? See, people don't talk about that much. Do y'all remember when she snatched Miss Deb's daughter-in-law's ponytail off, and Miss Deb bopped Jocelyn? Do y'all remember that? Bopped her real good during the on Love and Hip Hop during that. Y'all know which one, that daggone reunion, honey, where her and Stevie J was crashing out. Miss Deb bopped Jocelyn, honey. Sure did. Moving right along. Anyway, yeah, she snatched Tammy's ponytail off, honey, and got. I said, oh. Anyway, shortly after all this happened, there was another conversation, and here, old Audrey Holloway, you messy too, but you are covert messy. You are the handler. See, you ain't have good interaction with your sister, so I didn't trust you already. And you are the bone carrier. You are the Sheree Whitfield of the show. She got all the confessionals. She telling it all because she orchestrating it all. You's old messy bitch. We see you. We see you, sis. And before I go any further, stay here. There was a girl that was in auditions, and her face got cracked so bad. She thought she was turning it. Okay? She thought she was turning it. She did her audition. Before she did her audition, she had a confessional talking about the fact that she was the shit and that she knows she got something that ain't nobody else got. She basically let us know she was the shit. And she went on out there on that stage, and she was out there and she went against Deja. And I'm like, I don't know why you looking at it. She was giving Deja. And I don't know why she was giving Deja all that, because Deja was letting her have it. Because Deja literally sound like Monica, singing Monica. So I was like, I don't know why you trying to give her the blues, baby, because it's not working. You're not reading the room. And Kiki just ate her. It was like Kiki saw her confessional or something. Because Kiki asked her, she said, let me ask you a question. She said, you looking at her like she ain't nothing. Do you think you're all that or something? I said, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, no, I ain't got nothing. She said, no. You looking at her like you think you're somebody. Girl, who are you? Who are you? She said, I could be standing in the room with Patti LaBelle or Mariah Carey. I never be looking down. I'm looking to lift that sister up. I don't know what you sitting over there looking at her like you know you are all that. And who are you? I said, oh. Face crack, ended up leaving crying. I said, you do realize this is reality TV, right, sis? There's cameras everywhere. So chances are Kiki probably seen your confessional before probably seen what you said or was made aware. You know how this works. You know the producers will do you in. And what you give is what comes back to you. It's reality TV. That's reality TV 101. Whatever you said, whatever you've done, somebody's seen it. Somebody's seen it. Moving right along. Now let's get back to this. So after all of that goes on, Lucy went to acting like Lucy. She was acting a fool. She done picked the whole argument. Because see, they didn't already, when they had that little conversation, they're having a little conversation about Amber. And she basically been pointed out as the weak link. She done went in there and tried to bully her. Done took up the whole cupboard. They sharing rooms. What would make you think it was a good idea to take the whole cupboard? She literally picked a fight with the girl. And it just got real loud, real fast, real hard-legged on the outer shell. And it was just really all this aggression. And of course, that just was not working. Because it was triggering Amber. So Amber was getting with her at first. But then they were like, Miss Deb is here. Deb done pulled up. So Deb ends up coming in. By this time, Amber separated herself. Okay. So Amber ain't getting in no trouble. But Lucy couldn't back down, couldn't pipe down because Lucy ghetto as hell. And Lucy was all about, come here, Miss Deb. Let me show you, Miss Deb. Y'all know Miss Deb. See, if you don't know Miss Deb give you lesbian tease too. You know, Miss Deb got that old hard edge. Because I always would poke fun at Miss Deb when she was on Love and Hip Hop. Those are my girls, so forth and so on. She sounded like old house marm or something. That's just her, she rough like that. So I'm gonna say that's how Lucy is. Lucy just old rough like that. Like because she never said she don't identify as no lesbian or nothing, but she give you stud. Sloppy clothes and not all studs are sloppy, but she got that whole vibe going. She just looked like a fat boy. Like seriously, she looks like a fat boy. She carries herself like a fat boy. She ain't tidy. It's a specific type of fat boy. She just, yeah. It's just, yeah, like doughboy. That's there you go, right there. Doughboy. That's how she carry herself. And she wasn't turning it off. Miss Deb is talking. She kept cutting Deb off. I was like, this ain't going to go well. She kept cutting Deb because saying, you see what you're doing right now? I'm like, she not catching it. Just all about it and all aggressive. I'm like, girl, Deb will pop you. Like she will. She is a boy mom. She will pop you, Lucy. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And so Deb said, let's just all go downstairs and let's sit down and let's have a talk so I can go back over the rules of the house and what's going on. Because we don't do this. She said, we don't beef in Miss Deb's house. We don't do that. There is no beef in Miss Deb's house. She had introduced Sheree. Let them know Sheree is going to be watching, that she's always watching, and everything like that. Well, Lucy couldn't let it go because she wanted to be right. Amber's over there not saying nothing. She wants to be right. So she goes on. She eventually goes ahead and eliminates herself. She eliminates herself. And the tea was she was going to get kicked out anyway. Because Deb had heard about enough of her goddamn mouth. And I could see it all in Deb's face. And Deb held it together real well. She did. Because I said, you going to get some of that hoe Celine. Shut up talking to me. Say less. Shut up. Don't say nothing, actually. So she goes on with all that. And she was talking real stupid. She said, I'm going to stand on my own stuff. Fuck a record deal. Lucy, if you don't sit somewhere and shut up, talking crazy. And she ended up eliminating herself. So she the first one to go on home. But it didn't matter because she was going to get kicked out anyway. She was irritating and aggravating. And now I'm going to say this because we're going to wrap this up so I can go back and watch episode 2. Okay. So this is going to be good. earlier on as well with that whole, it was real iffy with Audrey getting to stay. You know, Audrey and her sister came in with the whole, we come from music business royalty, this, that, thing, and the other. On and on and on. They was coming with that type of energy, that we're better than energy. And I've done this and I've done that. And then they came to the house and I said, look out, see, production. Production will make a fool out of you. So, like I said, we've seen a lot of screen time from Audrey, but it wasn't good screen time, Audrey. We seen you snub your sister. We seen you bone carrying. We seen you administering the bullshit in. We also seen you as not really that far on top of your craft, the way that you claim you on top of your craft, when you couldn't figure out, well, what is these things on the door? What are they called? I just can't. I can't think of what they are. Um, you had a whole black girl Jessica Simpson moment. Is it chicken of the sea? Is it chicken or is it tuna? You had a whole moment like that. You didn't know what those words was hanging on the doors. And they let you go on literally for like 5-10 minutes. And then they finally said, honey, they're records. You freaking idiot. So they gave you a whole blonde moment where none of all that time, all that, because she had literally had the most screen time on episode 1, but none of it was really good screen time. It actually threw you in as being very unlikable. So you need to check that, sis. It can be turned around because this is just episode 1. But for me, she came through as very unlikable and very much not what she says that she is. Look like you lived in the moment a little bit too much. When you're living for the moment. Anyway, but all in all, I love this show. I am definitely down for this. I will definitely be watching. I will definitely be reviewing. And y'all just keep on watching. We're going to have fun. Y'all know I loves my music. Loves my music. I love all of this angle of it, the behind the scenes and the creating of music. And I love all of this. And I'm like really excited for this. So we're on it. And I will catch y'all in the next episode. Bye, y'all.